Welcome to Bigfoot Society. You're about to hear ENCOUNTERPALOOZA 3, a members-only episode that's a collection of special encounter stories. If you're on the public feed, you'll hear a 10-minute clip as a teaser, and if you're a supporter, thank you. You're about to hear the whole thing. If you want to hear the whole thing, you can become a member over at patreon.com/the Bigfoot Society, or you can click join over on YouTube and become a YouTube channel member, tier 2 or above. Well, sit back, enjoy this special episode, and let's get on with the show. Let's try LJ3. Hey, LJ3, this is Jeremiah from Bigfoot Society. Awesome. How's it going, man?
Doing well, and yourself?
Absolutely. So it looks like you've experienced some really interesting things.
Yeah, I was in the thumb of Michigan, and I was out with my friends, and we came back chilling at the house. I go outside because, I love the stars. I was just trying to, take videos of nature. And as soon as I stopped recording, I hear what people are calling whoops. It was long, it was prolonged. It was at least 10 seconds long, and my entire body physically shook from the vibrations of this thing. It couldn't have been, it definitely was less than a mile away. It probably could have been at least 500 feet, maybe 500 to 1,000 feet. That's how loud it was and how audible it was. And everything inside of me was get in the house. So I got in the house, tried to play the video back. But again, as soon as I had stopped recording, I hear this sound. So I definitely felt like I was being watched. And yeah, it was creepy. I did not like that at all.
Ooh, that's scary stuff, dude. Is this by a certain region out on the thumb that you could share? Or?
This is in Bay City or Port Huron area.
Yeah. Gotcha. Bay City, I believe back in the 70s there's a lot of stuff going on out there from what I've heard. But wow, that's really interesting. Did you ever look to see if there's other stuff that's been going on in that area too?
No, I talked to the locals, and they are very adamant that there is no Bigfoot.
That means there's Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Maybe. You never know. Oh, wow. LJ3, thank you for sharing what you experienced. I think that there definitely is something to that where stuff tends to not happen while stuff is recording. There's something to do with maybe the electrical signal. So I'm right there with you, man.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for having me on.
All right. Thank you. Hey, Cam, this is Jeremiah from Bigfoot Society. How's it going, man?
Oh, going pretty good. I'm kind of stumbled on this, and I thought it was very interesting. And I live in Colorado, Castle Rock, which is south of Denver. And
Yep.
Just to the west, there's a mountain range that starts to begin called Rampart Range. And I've been up there camping many, many times, dispersed camping, and I used to walk around and look for tree structures, of which there are many. I've seen tracks. And the only thing I've ever really seen, and I actually have it on video, it's not very clear, but I was filming this big clump of rocks and trees, and a very large shadow darted behind it. And then when I went around to see if anything was there's nothing there. But, at night, whoops, all the time, you hear them. Now, I don't know if it's people looking for and trying to elicit some sort of a response, or if it's actually, a real Bigfoot. But just like that guy said earlier, I mean, you feel like you're being watched for sure. Not all the time, but you just all of a sudden get that creepy hair standing up feeling, and yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Does it ever get extremely quiet, deafeningly quiet there too?
Yes. I suppose so, but nothing that really caught my attention.
Okay.
Now, one thing I did experience, which is extremely hard to explain, it was a noise. And when it was very, very quiet up to this point, and I had that creepy feeling. And then it sounded almost like, it's hard to explain, but two pieces of really hard wood being banged together really fast, almost metallic. like a musical instrument or something, but it was bang, 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 And I have no idea what that was. I was wondering if you've heard anything like that with any other reports.
So it was like it was hitting two pieces of metal, you said, together?
The best way to explain it, when I was in grade school, we used to have these little musical instruments, and you get these two sort of really hard sticks you bang together, and it's
Oh, yeah.
that's
like
what
in
it
the sleigh
sounded
ride.
like. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it sounded like.
Okay.
Very hard to explain.
Was it in a pattern at all?
Yeah, almost a mechanical
the pattern?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it was just a straight bang, 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 bang. It almost sounded mechanical.
Oh, that's weird. So would it do like 2 or 3 at a time and then stop, or you're saying that it's just going constantly?
Yeah, it was just that one time, and it probably lasted, I would say, 3-4 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's weird. Especially if it's in an area where you're hearing whoops as well.
Oh yeah.
I mean, did those whoops that you heard, did they remind you of anything you've ever heard before in the zoo or anything like that?
Yeah, it sounded like monkeys.
Any particular one?
Gosh, I really can't think of any particular one. Maybe a chimp or something like that.
Gotcha. Yeah. Oh man. I mean, it sounds like, I don't know if you're going out there regularly, but it definitely sounds like it might be a place to keep an eye on, especially if you're. I mean, you saw a shadow that darted away. Did it look like the shadow was on 2 legs, or could you not really tell much about it?
Couldn't really tell.
Okay.
Just sort of a one big shadow. It was big. And it was right near an area where there were a bunch of tree structures. There are tree structures all over the place there. And that's usually why I like to hike up there is to look at them. I'll go deep away from, real sort of areas where no other people tend to explore. I know that's probably not really smart, but it's always by myself.
Right. Yeah. Just be careful out there for sure. Make sure people know where you're going if possible. Can you explain what the structures looked like?
Yeah, well, you can see a lot of tree bends. Obviously, it was pulled down by something, and then other limbs clearly put up against it, almost like sort of in a teepee kind of fashion. X's, like star structures. Sometimes I'll see them in like big like squares on the ground. I've seen a very large tree that looked like it was stuck upside down in the ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And when I'm around those structures, I don't know if it's in my mind, but that's when you get that creepy feeling, like somebody's watching you.
When you leave the area, do you ever have weird dreams the days afterwards, or are you affected in any way like that?
I wouldn't say so. No.
Okay, that's good. Some people have reported that will happen as well. Man, like everything you're saying, that sounds like a really interesting area. And yeah, I would definitely be careful if you continue to go out there, just to be aware of what's going on, But
yeah, I'm usually
cool.
armed and I got bear spray, and I'll let my wife
Good.
know exactly where I'm going. She's got it on a map, etc. Yeah, I used to be in the Marines, so I'm pretty I cover my bases pretty well.
Have you ever heard any other vocalizations besides whoops out there?
Yeah, I have, but it could have been a moose, or
Okay.
something like that. But it was like a snorting, sounded like a couple of them, and you could hear, crunching in the woods. But it was kind of a snorting sound, breathing, snorting. And then I would go explore where I thought in the direction that I heard that, and I would actually see tracks, very big, Bigfoot type tracks. I've got a ton of pictures.
Oh, so you're actually seeing tracks out there too?
Oh yeah,
wow.
Yeah, lots of them. I mean, sometimes it's hard to tell. I mean, you could tell it's it could be a bear or it could be something else. But I mean, some of them are just so pronounced. It's just a big foot, a big human foot. That's very very hard to call anything else.
Are there parts of the track that when you looked at it, you're like, oh, that's got to be Bigfoot related, that stood out to you?
Yeah, I mean, I keep an open mind, but some of the ones I've looked at look like a lot of the photos I've seen of Bigfoot tracks or casts and things like that. I've never cast it or anything. It's just kind of a, sideline hobby.
Absolutely. Any toes in the tracks visible?
Oh, yeah. No, definitely.
Wow, really?
That's what really, I've even seen small, look like small human feet. Maybe they're, but they're clear toes.
Okay.
The bigger ones are like pressed really deep. You could tell that it was heavy. And then, I'll try to follow them, and sometimes they just stop.
Please take a minute to help out the show by subscribing on YouTube, making sure you hit the bell so you don't miss any notifications, and share the episode on YouTube with a friend. Also, if you're listening to us on a podcast, thank you so much. Make sure that you're subscribed, share the show with a friend. Really, it's all about sharing the show wherever you can. If you've had a Bigfoot encounter related to the following or know someone who has, please reach out to me at bigfootsociety@gmail.com or pass on my email. Here's the list. If you've had any encounters in Oregon, which I'm sure there's probably a few of you out there, please feel free to reach out immediately. You can use email bigfootsociety@gmail.com. A special thank you to all the Bigfoot Society Patreon and YouTube channel members. It's your support that helps keep the show going, and I extremely appreciate it. If you want to join in the fun, you can join over at patreon.com/the Bigfoot Society. I'll see you there. And again, thanks for listening.
Her and I can get on here and we can tell our stories. Maybe there's somebody else out there listening that's too afraid to tell their story. Maybe this will give them the courage to come out and not feel so bad about it. Who cares what anybody thinks? I know what I saw. I know what's out there. That's all I care about.
Please let people know. Please let them know. If you ever see one of these things, you need to tell. Because if you don't, then shame on you. Shame on you.